Good morning and happy Monday, everybody. So I hope everyone has had a good start to the week. I know John Jenkins has already clocked his morning rituals and workout. It's like watching a clock go around in 24 hours. You can count on it happening every day. So look, as we shared last week, I will tell you guys all the same, guys, gals, all the same things. During these sessions, get more out of me. Ask questions, reach out to people. It's the consistency that will allow you to win and grow your business over time, right? Most real estate agents operate in this roller coaster thing, and my audio is wonky. Hold on.
Martha, is that better? Gift and a curse. So look, I will keep saying this, Julie. Agents win on consistency. You can't be great at anything in the world and not practice. So calling people, reaching out to people should be part of your day, like John Jenkins' morning rituals are for him. This should be non-negotiable. And, I want you all to get to this point where if you're not reaching out to people, it feels like you didn't brush your teeth. This should be the one thing as a salesperson that lives off of commission that you need to do every day, like brushing your teeth. Because if you're not doing this, eventually there will be a month that you have no money. And the crazy thing for real estate agents is we all have business costs, life costs, and that 2-3 months where stuff can go bad, you can end up in debt like this. Right? We talk about the KPIs of money, the daily, weekly, monthly, and annual costs to run your business and life. Look at what those numbers are. I can tell you what my number is. It is insane how much money it costs just to live and breathe air every single day. But that number, instead of scaring me, drives me to continue to keep going. So as we start our session today, again, I'll remind you, if you have any situation, how do I reach out to this person? I haven't talked to a client in a while. I need a note. I need an email. I need a phone script, whatever it is, just drop it in the chat and I'll answer it for you. So there should be no reason that the people that decide to invest in themselves today should not be able to make these calls, contacts. And look, if you're on the West Coast, it's early. It's a great time to just write handwritten notes. All right, everybody, let's get started. Last time you guys really put me to work. I was in the chat typing literally till like the time that the session ended and we went a few minutes over. What specifically, Julie, do you need help with?
So this one is a little bit of a doozy. It's one of those Fifth Avenue co-ops with a bunch of rules. And there's an elderly widowed woman living in it. She's been trying to sell it. She's been through 3 brokers. She's about to let the listing expire with the 3rd one. It's dated, it's sentimental. And she's thinking about keeping it off the market until the end of summer. I don't really know what to do with it because it's fairly delicate, right? It's sentimental. It's hard to sell. I mean, the bottom line is it needs a price drop.
So you ever hear the saying in life, your problems will not become my problems?
Yeah.
And your bad choices do not have to become my reality?
Yeah.
So I'll give you a caveat emptor.
Like I might not want this, right?
Exactly. I would go in there, right? For an elderly person, you have to first acknowledge the sentimental aspect. Then you have to be very firm of like the you control, I control, no one controls, right? Ask her what will happen if she sells at this price, what won't happen if she stays at this price. And you're just going to say, look, neither one of us control what other buyers are willing to pay for homes. And based on the market and what your neighbors are willing to accept for the homes, this is the range if you want your home to sell. If that's something you're okay with, I'm happy to support you in the process. And if it's not something you're okay with, my best advice is you've been on the market this many days. I would just stay here and enjoy your time here and not keep going through this because, it's saying repeating the same thing over and over again.
Right, right. I know her best friend, so I'm trying to spoon feed her best friend a little bit before I meet her.
Just
So,
go in there. This is your opportunity to be a professional, not overly like you can be empathetic, but don't be emotional. And look, when someone chooses to overprice their home and they've been through 3 brokers, that's a them issue, not a you issue.
oh,
So
absolutely.
I always tell people, do not take overpriced listings. There's time, money, and resource. And for a $7 million listing, they have $7 million marketing expectations. And these people will call you all the time. They want open houses.
Yeah.
There's a saying, no amount of marketing will sell an overpriced listing. So take this as an opportunity to practice your written communication plan, your written marketing plan, and go in there and just say, look, this is,
That's what I think. It's an
yeah,
opportunity to just practice.
exactly.
Yep.
Document all the objections and then practice them. You're good to
Okay.
go.
Good advice. Thanks.
So Lisa, I like good morning. What is best to send clients? Lisa, are these past clients, active clients? Tell me a little bit more about who you're looking to send to.
Sorry, it took me a moment there to unmute. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning.
So Chirag, it's really a combination of reaching out to past clients. I kind of send them, the interesting activity in your neighborhood email, and then always hesitate as to what I should actually be sending them as a follow-up.
Nothing, just say that I've created an interactive market snapshot. We know that people are always curious about homes in their neighborhood. So at any point, I've set up a search that'll just notify you of any home that's come on the market, homes that have gone on the contract and that they've sold. And here's the key words. I understand that people always don't want to pick up and call their agent when they have a question. So you could simply just write a comment there and I could respond to your question. If you want to talk, I'm always available to talk. And that's the way that I would approach it.
Okay, great. Thank you.
You're welcome. Martha, tell me more about the people that wouldn't stop talking.
Good morning.
What are they saying?
They just go on. It's just there's like a nonstop sentence. And when they do pause and I repeat back what they said so they know that I heard them, they just start all over again.
But what are they talking about specifically?
They're talking about everything. Like the one I went to on Friday, they're doing a lot of renovation to the home before they market it or before they list it. So every single thing they're doing, like we're having the painter do this because I like this color, but I'm thinking that if I put the wainscoting this color, that I could do this color trim, and then the wall could be an accent point. And then because if we remove the chair rail up here, and then it goes on and on and on. You go out on the deck and it could be, well, I'm going to put a little rug over here because this little piece of the deck sticks up, and I want to do a yard cleanup. We want to be able
there's the thing called the pattern interrupt, right? So someone's having a conversation, you just completely be like, oh my God, do you know what's crazy? And just like that. And they'll be like, what? If we don't get through the things that are most important to you that you shared about, all of these renovations and stuff, you're not going to be able to maximize your equity because we're not going to have a plan. And they're going to be like, oh, okay. So I know it's really exciting. And all of those details I want to make sure that they're part of our plan, but let's go through and align on a plan and then see how this fits in so it works best for you.
Okay, that makes sense. So kind of interrupt in a pleasant way that breaks the pattern.
Yeah, it's called a pattern interrupt. It's an actual sales tactic. So one, it's a pattern interrupt. Two, then it's tying it back to them, acknowledging like, this is really, I would say to you, this is really important information. Look, it's like, I can get somebody that's interested in coaching, or I could talk to them. They could be going on all these tangents and I could say, I'm like, oh my God. And they're like, what? Like, I just realized like, I'm excited as you are to hear about this. This is going to be a big part in maximizing your equity. However, I'm realizing that if we don't go through the actual plan and the time that we have together, it's going to be really hard for us to get to that goal. See, notice I said us, right? So agents will go off on all of these tangents. I'm like, wait. You know, remember that goal you had? Like, yeah. So let me go through the things that are important so we can get you to the goal. And let me just, if it's okay, like, would it be okay if I just drove the process, and I will make sure to bring all these details into the conversation.
Perfect. Thank you.
All right, who's up next? Rob Del Greco, my man. How's it going? Parker, what do you got for us today? Questions, comments? Chelsea, what questions do you have? Come
I
on.
have a question regarding my situation that might apply to other folks. I run the operations and behind the scenes of my mother's business, Aurora, in Westchester. So I'm not client facing. I do all operations, listings, marketing, everything. And I'm trying to set up my goal this quarter, which is to set up her seller system efficiently in a way that works for us and our flow, based off of the one from coaching. I think that I would benefit from some sort of accountability partner or group that is focused on those type of tasks, because I'm not meeting with clients and doing the med C, and that's not in the goals of our business. I'm planning to stay behind the scenes. So I was curious if those accountabilities groups exist, or if anyone else would be interested in where I could go to reach out to other people in the
Any
chat.
human that's looking to build the system, you can reach out to. So drop in the chat if you're looking to build like a seller system. But here is what I'm going to tell you. Great support people like you should talk to clients, right? Because your mom, if you look at like a division of labor, your mom should do things that drive revenue, right? So giving your clients updates, letting them know what's going on, everything does not need to go through your mom. So like when you go on a listing pitch, this is me, this is my daughter, this is what I do, this is what they do, right? So like, you know, that weekly recap email that talks about, like, it gives a link to the collection, the number of showings, the showing view. You can send that email and prepare that whole thing and send it to the client. And be like, oh, if you have any questions for Aurora, please let me know. We'll make sure we're prepared, right? You can give the feedback to the client. So it's like your mom can just focus on like bringing in top level revenue, and you can help deal with the servicing. Because you're doing all the stuff on the back end, then you have to communicate the stuff with your mom, and then your mom has to communicate. It's literally eliminating the middleman. And your mom doesn't have to worry about anything because you're her daughter, and it's not like you're gonna like steal her clients or any of these other
exactly.
thoughts that people have.
And I'm not trying to do that. I'm not trying to take over her business.
No, you're not. I know that.
Yeah.
It's your mom's.
So,
that was my advice. Look,
yeah, no, that's helpful. That's helpful to hear.
the next quarter, we are revamping all the accountability groups and everything. I have like some really cool things that I'm working on, but I've promised everyone here that works here that I would not like tell people, because even if I'm like, this is not coming till April 15th, people just start emailing them now and then everyone. I just get excited and I want to share, but I have some really awesome things that we're working on for all of you. All right. Likely to sell. I'm working on likely to sell cold email. There's a template, but it looks a little bit general. What do you think? Hi, first name. I hope this much measure. The market is heating up, and there's bad email. So you don't know this person, right?
I met them. So, okay. So I have
You
this.
know this person?
I've met them years ago, but it's basically a cold email. They don't remember me, but I saw them coming up in my likely to sell folder, and I really want to tackle it. And this is one of the email templates that was offered in one of the trainings, this Fritz, but it looks very general and cold, and I'm not sure.
So
I'm trying
let
to
me
find
break
ways
this
to.
down to you, right?
Okay.
I hope, right? So the first thing you did was make it about yourself. So it's ready? Hold on. I hope this message finds you well. The market's heating up with a significant interest of buyers in the neighborhood. Okay. When it comes to evaluating your homes, I have access to some of the greatest tools to give you an accurate estimate of what your home might sell for in the current market. Your evaluation can be available within 3 business days on request. Does that sound like a relationship-based person?
No, that's the thing. And I asking for insight, like what would you do and how do you approach
Hold on.
because we don't have relationship. That's basically a cold email. Yeah.
Exactly. All right. And this neighborhood that they're sending it, like there's like lack of inventory, high interest and everything else.
It's the building has listings for sale. I looked it up. You know, there is inventory everywhere. It just maybe not the best inventory, but that's like a
So
generic.
this email doesn't even make sense.
Okay. That's why I was hesitating to send it for the last 3 weeks. Yeah. But what would your suggestion be? Like say.
I'm writing it. Hold on 1 second.
Oh, okay. Thank you. And if anyone can chime in, would be amazing as well. If you ever deal with likely to sell cold emails. And then the other thing is, what would be the strategy? I send a couple emails, no response, and then I assume I
Listen,
should
they're
call.
they're cold leads, right? Like it's a numbers game. And the only thing you can send like people like this is just send them information about macro market trends, right? So like as a real estate expert, you like position yourself. You talk about macro market trends. Like here's what's going on in New York City. And then you give them data. You give them your interpretation of the data. And then at the end, you write, if you ever like a more personalized equity analysis based on your home, the features and benefits that you have, please let me know. So hold on, let me finish writing this for you. Did you know that most homeowners don't ever get an equity analysis? All right, ready? Did you know that most homeowners don't ever get an annual equity analysis for their home, which in many cases is your most valuable asset? If you'd like a complimentary equity analysis, please let me know. I'm happy to help. I know you're busy, so no need to respond. I wanted to simply share this message with you. That's it.
Thank you. And then like if they don't respond, do I leave it alone or should I just?
No, if you're gonna send one email, you better be ready to send 12, like one a month.
Yeah.
Hopefully
And then
market
when do
data.
you think I should start calling? Like, do I send a few emails and then like a third one would be a follow-up call or?
How comfortable are you calling random strangers that don't want to hear from you?
Like, you know, depends on my mood. In the morning, I'm more comfortable than in the afternoon. When I have more energy.
If you're calling these people, right, you have to tie it to something, right? The first thing they're going to want to know is, how'd you get my information? And you could say, look, our company has an AI, you know, one of the benefits of working for a technology company is we have an AI algorithm that shares information of homes that have a high probability of selling that can maximize their equity in the market. So I wanted to just simply give you a call and see if you're interested in an equity analysis of your home, whether you want to sell it or not, it's your choice. But I'm just looking to reach out and be of service. And just be ready for people to tell you to go to hell, screw you, how'd you get my number, and everything else. But my rule of thumb is, until you've actually taken care of all of the people who've actually like bought and sold real estate with you, do not go into cold leads. I don't know what infatuation people have with online leads likely to sell when they don't service their past clients and centers of influence first. It's crazy. There's like easy money there. If you work your database, your past clients and centers of influence correctly, you'll get 10 to 15% of them to refer you one client a year.
Okay, Chirag. So this is the other question I have. So I have a backlog of former renters because we represent like different buildings on the listing side, and I generally stay in touch with good chunks of them, and then they talk about buying. But is there a system that you would recommend, say, like 6 months into the expiration of the lease, reaching out and asking, what do you think? Have you thought about buying? Like, I don't know if
Yeah, I
there's a
would
system.
I would set that up from the beginning. I would put a note, a task in my CRM, and I'd also let people know that says, hey, Shrug, you know, one of the benefits is 6 months into lease, I'm going to call you. And we know people's situations change all the time. So whether if you have an idea of staying in the building, potentially exploring areas of buying, but it's like a complimentary 30-minute consultation that we do for everyone. So you don't ever feel like you're making a big decision at the last minute. So some people literally will just put the meeting in their calendar 6 months in advance.
Can you write this template? It's really good what you just said.
So
I was trying to type notes.
This is not an email you send.
No, I know, like that, the script that you just
You
said.
could go back into the recording and just, it's 20, write this down. It's 22 minutes into the call. So just go to 22, like 21, 22 minutes, and it'll be right here.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Can I read you something really quickly?
Yeah, please. This is what it's
And
all
you tell
about.
me if it's the worst. So I'm working on a campaign for some houses around, sorry about the background noise. Houses around a place where I just got buyers into. And so this is what I've come up with I've taken some of like your bits and pieces too. So I said, exciting news, Ben and Emma, whom I assisted at 4209 Illinois Ave, are proud members of our neighborhood. If you see them, take a moment to introduce yourself, as I know that would make their arrival extra special. I love to make sure my clients are taken care of beyond the transaction. A moment from you will bring them into the community fold. And so I want to do this, like this is a handwritten note right here. Before I start like a monthly.
It's great.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah.
Do you think that disclosing their address is okay?
I would ask them.
Got it. Okay, great.
And then the other thing is like, you know, you could also like keep that note the way it is. And, you know, I could say, you know, I'm really excited to introduce you to your new neighbors at 123 Main Street. You know, remember moving in a new neighborhood, it comes with excitement and butterflies as well as you're excited to see who your neighbors are.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure it would mean a lot to them, just as when you moved, if people came and introduced themselves and really made them feel like a community. The thing I love most about this community is the way that people all connect and do things together. So, you know, a moment of your time would make their arrival extra special, you know, and that's it, right? So it's like, you can switch this, but again, try to remove all of the I's in these things, right?
Got
Think
it.
about, if you go back and read some of these emails, you could have 4, 5, 6, 7 I's. I'll read things all the time like, Jesus, this looks like I wrote like something for myself.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'll never figure out why more people don't come to these sessions. We'll have like 100 people later on today. And you know what the moral of the story is? People don't want to do the hard work. And this isn't even that hard. Like, if you think about this as a job, what are you really doing to make money? You're writing notes, recording videos, sending emails, and calling people and asking them how they're doing and having a social conversation. This is not difficult. Like, this is like the most simple thing in the entire world.
Can I ask a question?
Please.
All right, so I'm not very good at this, but I want to get better at it. The personal note piece or handwritten note. Let's do it that way. Let's call it that. All right. I got no problem picking up the phone and calling past clients, calling other compass agents, right? It's that handwritten note piece. So I'm ashamed to say I've never done it before, but I want to do it. So what's a great thing to put out there to start that kind of campaign?
Let me just do this. There is a Robert Refkin. Hold on, let me just make a copy of this. There's a whole notes library, Rob, that I made with Robert.
Okay.
And just take notes from here. There you go. That's it. These are literally Robert. If he was writing a note, like this is what they would say.
Let me see here. Google right here. Boom.
There you go.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Sorry for the silliness of the question.
That's not a silly question. That's actually a good question because that means you actually want to do something and you're not going to like just get stuck, right? So look, like these to me arguably are the most valuable sessions in this whole program. Where else can you go in the world and ask all your prospecting questions and like get answers and emails and things live?
Well, this is good because last night I before going to bed, I went through pretty much everybody in my database from the 5, 10, 15, and 20-year home anniversary. Since I'm in year 22. And believe it or not, there are some that have been there for 22 years. Wow. And that's one of the things I wanted to attack. And I see that there in that what you just sent over. So I think that's where I'm probably going to start.
There you go.
Thank you.
Remember, the journey of 1,000 steps starts with one.
Can I just add something really quick about the handwritten notes?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I find to make it easier for you? Buy all of the stamps and buy all of the cards and like cute like little envelopes first. And so you're like set and you don't have to be like, oh gosh, I don't have stamps today.
Also, you can get like a wax seal.
I also want to second Parker. I do have a bunch of postcards and post stamps as well because it's easier to reach at home and in the office. There's also a service, postable.com. I don't know if anyone ever used it. Sometimes when you want to send a card on the go from the app, you can do that and it looks like a handwritten note. So, and then you have your CRM and the birthdays and that postable app that reminds you to send postcards. I don't know if anyone ever used that, but that was helpful.
What is the name of the app? John, what do you have there?
Oh, so I'm just showing that we have custom that we make every year, a new happy anniversary card for their home. And then we put how many years they've been in there. Now, and we do this to people that we didn't even represent them, but we met them at an open house. It's, you know, it's a prospect. We start treating them like our client. We start sending them an anniversary card. Just because we didn't represent doesn't mean we start treating them like they're a client, they'll become a client. The other thing we do is how can we make, like you have the wax stamp, Chirag? We have binders, a binder full of all different fun stamps on the occasion to put on the outside of the card. Just something extra just to make it really fun. Just want to add that.
And listen, here's the reality of it. If you see an envelope that has handwriting and a cool stamp, you're going to be excited because the reality is in a mailbox, it's filled with paper spam, right? It's not filled with like anything valuable. I don't go to the mailbox. Like I have no interest in going there because it's all just junk. People always ask me, like, you ever going to look in the mail? I'm like, no, because there's nothing like, I don't know. But then when I see the handwritten envelope, I get really excited. I'm like, oh, this is amazing. So you'll see my team is making me stationary. So when we're on these calls, if there's not anything answering, I'm going to be writing all of you notes. Sorry, it's 10 o'clock. As always, love in my heart. I love you all. And listen, just keep cranking away. At 11:30, we have sellers ask me anything. So prepare your questions for any listing appointments, pitches, as well as I expect you all to come back here at 12:30 again for another session of prospecting. Chelsea, you should connect with Jeff about building systems. So just ask everyone when you come on these calls, like who has an admin that wants to work on systems, right? Because you're on the calls and I would sit there and ask and tell your mom that she has to come to live prospecting next week. I expect to see her there. All right, bye everybody. I'll see you guys all later.